Marc Ecko is here.
What's the good
Yeah.
word?
He's promoting a book.
Yes.
Label.
Unlabel.
It says selling you without selling out.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's actually is pretty interesting already.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's and it's funny because it makes people flat-footed just watching you read it, because people I think have a tough time with what the definition of a sellout is.
Yeah.
And coming from a guy like me, who who has an interesting, diverse history coming up, building Ecko Unlimited. They're like, oh, isn't that a contradiction? Because isn't he a bit of a sellout?
Yeah.
So
I think the only people that use the word sellout don't know how to get money or do anything.
well, yeah. I mean, the book is designed to kind of take the piss out of old these kind of like 80s, 90s management speak books. It's really a business book for the creative class, and I think my background and my history puts me in a unique position to share kind of my philosophy and challenge, I think, people's views on selling their art and commercializing their art.
Sure.
And how do you reconcile building a brand that's perceived and then a brand that's, that you got to put to bed at night, every night? And what are the trappings of that? What are the...
Sure, there's a lot.
Oh, yeah. So I share a lot of war stories and try to just... on one part, try to kind of like have a little bit of that old school, like business book, but like not in a condescending, patronizing way. And the way that I disarm the reader is to kind of say these things matter-of-factly and then just be so transparent it hurts.
Just looking at it for a second is awesome.
Dope hip hop.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, I turned to this awesome page that I'm going to give the listeners a taste of, so maybe they're interested. Because honestly, every book is good when it's read by Peter Rosenberg, let's be honest.
Yes,
Sure.
One notch
true.
better.
Yeah.
So he's talking about trying to get on in the early days that I started mailing out drawings, hats, and t-shirts to all the musicians and producers I looked up to and wanted to emulate. Cool DJ Red Alert was first. Back then, he was one of, if not the most dominant DJs in hip-hop, and Rolling Stone magazine would name him as one of the 50 most influential people in music. He was also part of Violator Management. Every weekend night, in an era before iTunes and Spotify, everyone listened to Red Alert on the New York radio station 98.7 KISS FM.
Rest in
Audio
peace.
Bible of hip-hop. Rest in peace. I couldn't wait until his Friday night show. Red was famous for doing shout-outs. I had no patience for waiting on hold and doing the dial-up thing, so I went to my strong suit of communication, my art. During his radio show, I camped out at the Kinko's and straight up spammed his fax machine with Ecko airbrushing promos. Black and white pen and ink illustrations of MCs standing encircled in a rap cipher, or images shot from the floor to the sky showing MCs jumping across the stage. All the images were unapologetically self-promotional, self-referential, and clearly branded and signed Ecko. And then one Friday night, I'm listening to 98.7, like always, drawing in my black book, and I hear something on the radio. I gotta shout out my man Ecko for blessing me with this fly gear. Yo, we got the fresh airbrush jacket, the crazy snapback hats. My man Ecko, airbrushing, yeah. Big up Lakewood, New Jersey, and my man Ecko, artwork is crazy.
Your voices are usually good. That was a hard
Horrible.
Red Alert.
Horrible.
That was a hard
You want
Red
to try?
Alert.
I don't have one.
No, I don't have Red Alert.
I can't do-
I can't do voices like you.
I
You're
know,
good at voices.
No, I'm generally okay, but I don't have it. I don't have red. If I haven't, you have to to do the voice in any way. You have to figure out one thing to focus on, and besides the
Yeah.
besides that, there's nothing. For regular dialogue, I don't know how to do Red's voice.
Poo-poo? Your poo-poo juice?
Yeah, poo-poo juice. Are you religious?
No, actually, it's one of the things that I talk about in the book. This white Jewish kid that grew up in a town that was like really ethnically mixed with a really big, Orthodox Jewish population. I think there was the assumption that I'm deeply religious.
Well, yeah, you have friends and partners who are deeply religious, right?
I had a former partner. My former partner was an Orthodox Jewish guy. Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Seth Gertzberg. Yeah.
Former partner of very recent.
Yes,
Former.
yeah.
I was about to say because I met him like in the last 6 months.
Yeah, no, he's former. It's been former for a while. Like, I talk about it in the book. He's a great guy. I built something really special with him and my twin sister Marcy, and he's kind of portrayed through the book, and I have a really rich history with the guy. But no, I
You didn't make him like a. You didn't, because you guys broke up, make him like a Davey Kleinfeld and Carlitos Way
Yeah, I knew
character,
you were
like
gonna say
the
that.
money-sucking Jew. You didn't just like make him this evil.
Let me find the picture.
She's like, there's a picture, and he added to his nose.
just a little bit. No.
I want to say thanks personally for supplying most of my wardrobe from the late 90s and the early 2000s.
Is this
My pleasure, man.
Is this when you were pre-TV, just running with Flex?
No, this is buying clothes.
Oh, buying.
Buying Ecko, wearing the site, because they had the Cypher shirts, but they spelled it with a Y. I was a little upset about that, but
Well, no, there's not much you can do about that.
yeah. But the Cypher shirts with the mixtapes that used to come with the shirts.
Yeah.
And then as I got a little more popular, started getting a couple free shirts, I was like, woo. Then when my friend Kim worked there,
Yeah.
It was on.
stole mad shit.
So you basically took food out of his children's mouth. That's what you're saying right now.
No, but I wore it on TV.
Oh, okay, that's equal.
that's
It balances.
Cool, man.
Yeah, but
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you.
and then once I still have mad. Why do I keep old shirts and
What do you have?
sweatsuits?
What do you
and
have?
Mad Ecko shit like folded up in my storage in my basement.
I go through now. This is interesting because it's your
Picture.
clothing line.
Yeah.
But as I've
it
gotten,
was or still is, or is it still around?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's around, but
Yeah.
do you own it still? Or?
Yeah, well, actually, interesting enough, talk about it in
The book.
let me guess, in the book,
yeah,
in this book,
in this book.
I got media training. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
well,
it's in the book.
Well, no, because I never really, I haven't kind of, organized and documented like everything that happened, good, bad, and indifferent. So the book is, it kind of becomes this encyclopedic thing for me. I find myself
right, of your
doing
whole
that
everything that's happened
even when I'm not behind the mic, which is probably annoying for some folks. And
in regular life.
yeah,
They're like, "What's going on?" You're like, "It's in the book."
Look at Paige. It's
Like, are you promoting the book to me? So who has the company right now? Where is that?
I sold my interests and to a company called Iconics Brand Group. It's the same group that owns Rockaware and owns Badgley Mishka and Umbro and Starter. They're a great company, and I've partnered with them. And I still am very much involved with the Marc Ecko cut and sew part of the business.
This is Juan Epstein. We go behind the scenes, all right?
Yeah.
And I'm nothing if not honest. So there's some weird shit because we have our own digital network here, and I've been working with Complex. I don't know how much longer this will be able to work out, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But I've loved my work at Complex. Let me tell you one thing about Complex. Thank you, sir.
Oh, my
Because you
pleasure.
pay like a gentleman and a scholar.
Well, thank you.
Not something I'm totally accustomed to all the time in every walk of life. Complex gets things done and spends good money to get things done. And as a result, the product that they have looks like the show that I've done there.
Looks good,
It looks like a fucking television show. It is a well put together show with a full staff. The other day we did a later evening shoot. Guess what I had, Saif? Sushi.
Really? There
yeah.
was sushi on the budget.
Not fancy sushi, but
Okay,
they did get me dinner. I said I'm gonna be hungry. It's dinner time, and guess what they got me? Some takeout sushi and seaweed salad, might I add, and
it.
seaweed
Good vibe.
salad.
Who did
Respect
you
it.
interview? Who'd you do?
That was for Azealia Banks.
Complex is my favorite magazine.
Well,
it's
thank you.
it's the only magazine I have a subscription to.
You do?
Comes to my house every month.
God bless it, really.
My favorite magazine, Complex.
So this is all working great circles because he paid me a great sum to do his show, but you gave him
I
back
give him
$6
like $12.99
for a year.
or so.
So I'm glad it kind of balances out. How many years you been doing that?
It's
in the book.
launched it 10 and a half, 11 years ago.
Wow.
And in 2007, to the credit of my partner and the CEO, a guy named Rich Antonello, we put an emphasis on digital at a time where people weren't organizing it, for this demographic.
Yeah.
And we really, we what we do is organize the conversation.
When everyone's talking about a major issue in hip hop, Complex has if you Google it,
The list.
Complex has the top article always, and it'll be the list. It'll have everything
the
right
list-
there
the
for
list
you to
they
have
have.
the conversation.
Well, we're good.
You are good.
We're good at it, and I have a revenge fantasy on big media.
Who do you like of the other brands in your same lane, if you will, a lane that you were very early in?
The whole genre kind of went a lot through the same cycle that, say, like early skate and surf went through, where we reorganized, quote, the young men's arena in America. Especially, they labeled us urban wear, I guess, in absence of being able to, like, how else to describe it, which to me was always code for, like, brown people,
Definitely is.
And what's interesting is to see the genre have evolved and to see this, what I was hip to early, which was this convergence between skate and hip hop. Early on, that made me kind of this odd character. Like, it was like he's too black for the white stores and the skate stores. He's too white for the black or the urban stores. And today, what's interesting, it's fascinating, is that kind of very convergence, that kind of what was once crossover, that's now like convergence and like mashed up, is actually more embraced. So I look at brands like, what Jeff Staple has done. I think Jeff has done a really good job in Staple, and he's been very consistent. I think the cats at the Hundreds have done a really good job. I think there's a lot of great brands. I look at guys like Mark McNary, who, Mark has taken the kind of bravado of hip hop and packaged it in this kind of new 2.0 menswear thing.